Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. I'm actually recording this video during the LCS on Sunday, July 24th. I just watched CLG and Palafaker take down Team Liquid, which is just a continuation of the frustrating Team Liquid of 2022 that we have seen throughout the whole year so far. They are a super team. They are a group of veterans who is very, very accomplished. They have a world finalist. They have a world champion. They have probably the best LCS player of all time, and they have Hansama and Santorin, who are in and of their own right amazing players, and at their best have probably been world-class players multiple different times during their careers. But this team did not work in spring, and they're not working in summer, and there's a million different fingers being pointed at a bunch of different players. One player in particular maybe been getting some more slack recently, but I think I might have the man who might be able to come turn the ship around for Team Liquid. That's what we're going to be talking about in this video today. But first, a word from today's sponsor, which is, of course, Prize Picks. This is the easiest and fastest way to play daily fantasy sports. All you have to do is pick over or under on player props to win up to 10x your cash, big payouts, 24/7 live support, fast and secure withdrawals. They do it all. Some of the picks I'm looking at for the rest of the games today, I'm actually taking a game stack, EG against 100 Thieves. I think EG is going to win, so I'm going Inspired over 2.5 kills, and I'm going Someday under 2 kills. Because if one team wins, hey, they're probably going to get some kills. If one team loses, they're probably not going to get very many. But if you guys want to make some picks of your own, definitely check out the first link in the description below. And when you get signed up as a new user, Prize Picks is going to match your first deposit up to $100. So thank you so much to them. With that being said, let's get right into this. So this is a tweet that I put out because one of the players who I have been rather disappointed with throughout the 2022 season, I think at certain times, every single player on Team Liquid has looked very underwhelming. I think they've all had their fair share of high moments as well. Bwipo looking really good right now. Bjergsen has looked good at times. Santorin's been, one of the better junglers in the LCS for probably most of the year. Core JJ has had some highs and some lows as well, but Hansama has been good and bad, and I just put out, hey, where does Hansama rank in LCS AD carries to split right now? Because I don't think it's very high, and some of the replies were, 5th at best. This guy talks about how Doublelift needs to come in, and I took that idea and ran with it. This guy says probably 7th or 8th. We got top 5 but not top 3. This person just says LOL, and I mean, yeah, that's kind of crazy to think that people are saying at best he's like the 4th or 5th best AD carry in the LCS, which when you extrapolate that out to like the West, he's like what, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th? Like is he a top 10 AD carry in the West right now? Because EU is stacked with AD carries. Like every team in Europe has a really damn good AD carry. So it's very, very possible that 4th in the LCS or 5th in the LCS makes you 10th or maybe even lower in the West. And then if you look at the world where China and Korea have been better, like Hansama is not in a good spot, and he's okay, but Team Liquid brought him in not to be okay. They brought him in to be great. They saw what he did at 2021 Worlds, where his rogue team was reeling. His rogue team was struggling. They were doing a lot of things wrong. They were doing a lot of things bad, and Hansama was trying his best to 1v9. And he was getting very, very damn close to doing that. So you think you take that version of Hansama, which looks like he can carry some really, really struggling players, the playoff version of Rogue, the international version of Rogue, bring him into a team with as good of talent as Team Liquid has, and that might be something special. That might be something exciting, and that has absolutely not happened. I know this tweet got a quote as well from the Live Evil podcast. They said right ahead of Neo, maybe tied with Instinct, which I don't know if he's that low, but it's crazy that that's even what potential fan perception is. Obviously, Bwipo had the interview at the beginning of the year where they said they were going to be playing through bot lane. They were going to be playing through Hansama. This was going to be the way they were going to win all the games. Bwipo's going to play weak side. But you look at the games this weekend, and against Immortals, they pull out a Seraphine. That's not really a champion you're going to play around bot lane. And in this game, hey, Bwipo drops an 11-3, and everyone does pretty well. But yeah, I mean, yeah, GP's not really like a strong side champion that you're going to mega play through or anything like that, but he's a champion that can carry some games, and obviously you go Seraphine Alistar bot lane, you're not really going to be carrying with the Seraphine or anything like that, but it was just Immortals, whatever, they take that win. And then the next game, CLG. This one I was actually very, very excited for because Draven is a champion we've been seeing pop up a little bit more often. Unforgiven just had a really, really nice Draven game in the LEC. Draven is a historical Hansama champion that he's been very, very good on, even when Draven hasn't been so strong in the meta. And I was like, hey, this is big. This could be a game where Hansama gets a signature pick, a carry-oriented pick. They play through him. They have a Lysandra. They have a Nautilus. They have a Wukong, tons of CC, knockups, engage, all this stuff, and let Hansama go crazy. Now, hey, the comp they were playing into was maybe a little bit difficult. They have Misfortune ult to deal with. They have an Azir of long range. It's going to be hard for Draven to get in there. Even if he does get in there, he's going to get shuffled away by Azir. He can get shuffled into the Misfortune ult. Maybe not the perfect ideal game for Draven, but yeah, it didn't go well. They lose to CLG. They make Palafox look like Palafaker. Luger pops off. Contract pops off. Like, they were up in gold for a little while, but I think Bwipo said after the game, a lot of the gold lead was on the GP and on Draven cashing in on a kill and stuff. So the gold lead probably wasn't as big as it ever looked, and CLG just kind of runs away with this one in the end. And it's looking bad for Team Liquid. I mean, we go to the LCS standings. They are now 7-4. So, hey, they're a half game up on FlyQuest. They're a half game behind 100 Thieves. They're a couple games behind EG. So it's like, is Team Liquid going to make Worlds? Cloud9 is still there. FlyQuest has been good. 100 Thieves seems better than them right now. EG seems better than them right now. I don't know. Team Liquid's in a weird spot, and they are the team spending all of this money. We know Core JJ is not cheap. We know Bjergsen's not cheap. We know bringing in Bwipo and Hansama were not cheap. Santorin, probably the cheapest player on this roster. He's not like he's like a McDonald's player or anything like that. So you end up in this really, really weird spot. Again, a lot of people are pointing the fingers at Hansama right now. I don't think he's been all that great. I don't think he's necessarily... I'm not trying to blame everything on Hansama and be like, oh, Team Liquid is inconsistent, or Team Liquid is struggling, or Team Liquid isn't a super team because Hansama, but I am saying Hansama has been wildly underwhelming. And when you're looking at a guy who might be the 5th best AD carry in the LCS, you got to remember that in a team game, Liquid has the 2nd or 3rd best record in the LCS. When you're in a team game, your team's winning games. You're supposed to look better. So what if Hansama was on a weaker team right now? What if he was on FlyQuest, CLG, Golden Guardians, TSM? You got to assume he would look even worse. So when a player's on a good team, I kind of knock that against them a little bit and be like, okay, if you're the 5th best AD carry on the 2nd best team in the LCS, you're probably not actually the 5th best AD carry. You're probably a little bit lower, because playing on good teams makes you look better. You're playing with advantages. You're playing with leads. You're laning with Core JJ. Hey, go over to TSM. Go lane with Mia. Go over to Golden Guardians. Go lane with Ole. Like, how good are you really going to be then? I think it's not a stretch to say Hansama is a bottom 5 AD carry in the LCS right now. And that gets me to the main point here, that some people are starting to call for this name. People are starting to call for Doublelift. Now, I think this is a little bit ridiculous. I think it's a little bit crazy, but it's interesting to me. Team Liquid, they have Doublelift sitting out. They have Doublelift ready to go. Yes, he has said it would take him a little while. Anytime anyone's returned to pro, we heard this in the spring with Bjergsen, coming back. We've seen it a little bit with Jensen. We've seen it with some players coming back. But think about a guy like Niski, who was sitting out in the spring. He comes back in summer, and he's been pretty damn good right from the jump, right from the get-go. Yes, Niski, was much more in the competitive scene and much more ready to go than a guy like Doublelift, but Doublelift, a guy who has history with Bjergsen, a guy who has history with Core JJ, a guy who has history with this organization, would he be worse than Hansama right off the bat? Yeah, absolutely. It would take some time, but again, the regular season does not matter. 8 teams make the playoffs. We still have 1, 2, 3 weeks left in the LCS, and then we have a marathon of playoffs. Right now, is Team Liquid going to Worlds? Maybe. There's a pretty good chance they're probably the 3rd best team. Maybe not, though. There's an outside chance of them missing. But if this Team Liquid team goes to Worlds right now, are they going to do anything? Are they going to win a game? Is there any chance Hansama's coming back as AD carry for this team in 2023? I don't think so. So would it be interesting if they went out and made a phone call to Doublelift to see what he's doing, to maybe bring him into this lineup and maybe try and go on some crazy run? And if Doublelift does show any promise, talent, potential, could this be their AD carry for 2023? I don't know. It's crazy. It's ridiculous, but I like some crazy stuff. I like some ridiculous stuff. I almost think it might just be crazy enough to work, and I think it might just be crazy enough to give it a shot. Because again, I don't think Hansama's been that great. I don't want to blame everything on him, but I don't think he has probably been worth the buyout and salary that Team Liquid are paying him. I find it hard to believe he's going to be Team Liquid's AD carry in 2023. I find it hard to believe that this Team Liquid team is going to do anything internationally. So maybe it's time to give Doublelift a call. I don't know, but that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. I mean, coming after a loss against CLG, everything's got to be on the table, right? I don't know. Definitely drop a like if you guys did enjoy this video. I would appreciate it so much. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about Team Liquid, their struggles, who's to blame, what you would do to fix them. I don't know. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, stay up to date on all my latest content. Consider checking out Prize Picks, first link in the description below, or my Discord, second link in the description below. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.